Good morning. I'm just going to do a little video real quick of the software I'm using to create my videos. Um, as you can see, I have OBS over here for streaming, and that's all set up already. So if we open OBS, just so you see, it's literally done. It's actually running as we speak, which we don't need it to. So stop. And then the video capture device is not functioning because, as you can see in the down here, I am actually using the camera, but there's my OBS and it's set up for live streaming with the background. And I did that. I created the opening and everything that I would use with OBS if I were going to stream up here in Movavi, which is my main tool that I use for creating and editing videos. And it's already running. So let's bring it up. So I bought Movavi Suite. It's like $99 a year. It comes with the video editor. It comes with the screen recorder that we're using right now. It comes with recording sound. It comes with the video converter. What it doesn't come with, it's separate subscriptions, is the photo editor. And there is a plugin up here, like Movavi effects and everything. You'll see that when we get into the editor. I'm going to open up the latest video I created. Give it a second. There it comes. And we'll go open projects. And got to open the right one. Okay. So let's shrink this down so you can see everything real quick, and then we'll go over the elements. So that's the entire project recorded and done. Up here, this lower band with kind of the orangish, you'll see when I expand it, those are subtitles. This is Hispanic. This is English. I use Movavi's AI to create my subtitles, and it does a pretty decent job. I mean, you have to proof it because it will create a like sounding word, but it's not the word. So you still have to proof it, but you don't have to fill all these in. And I expanded out, and you can see here, let's go a little bigger. You can see up here the English subtitle, and then right below it, this Hispanic subtitle. So let's keep this expanded. And I created an opening scene for my videos. I'm going to play that real quick, and you can see it up here in the preview window. In fact, I'll make it a little bigger for you. Okay, so I'm going to start by playing this opening. Good morning. Okay. So the opening has, this particular opening has 6 elements. It has the sign, Parson Brown, that you saw. Let's back this up so it stays. Yeah, it has the sign, Parson Brown. It has the opening doors. It has the recorded, if you can see it, it's basically just an empty scene right there of the desk I'm sitting at right now, and the laptop. And I use a transition effect, which you can see as we go in it. When it comes out, I'm there. So the desk is still there because I recorded an empty desk, basically, just a few seconds worth. Then down below, right here, is actually the background. So it is the bookshelf. And as you can look at this, me talking, you can see behind me is just green. I'm using green screen. Then I have a little opening music. I'm using Bach because it's copyright free, and I post these on YouTube, and I just don't want to mess with with a lot of their copyright stuff. So so that is what a video looks like pieced together. So you build it in pieces. I built the opening and closing. I save that as a template. There's closing on the other end of it. Then I go in and I start recording the video I'm going to produce, which is right here, even though you can see in the video it's green. In the preview, it's got the bookshelf. That's the green screen magic. And then after I do that, I adjust or modify any volume issues that I may have. And then I feed in the background music, and you have to adjust volume and stuff so it doesn't overwhelm. And if you'll notice, all through here, you see these little snippets where I've snipped. I've done that. I do it. You can do it with the AI, removing dead space, shorten your video. I prefer to do it myself, even though it takes a lot more work, because I can find places in the video where you don't even notice it. Whereas a lot of the AI ones, it's kind of brute force and you'll notice it. So let's just play this. I think you'll notice it if you're looking at it. But we're gonna start just before a snip and go to the next segment. But what I'm going to talk about is discrimination. So there was where I cut in and shortened it. The other thing you can do is if you flub a word, if you're screwing up during it, what I do is I just stop, wait about 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait about 4 more seconds and just start talking. And then in editing, you can go in and it makes it real easy to take those out. So, and I think this next snip, I literally did just that. How we choose to allow it to affect us. And as you see, it's pretty clean. In some cases, you can't make it clean. And I think I have one of those in here. Let me see. Yes. So I had to do an edit. I just could not make the transition clean. So I used the transition effects, which is again part of the editor right here. And I selected a transition I was going to use. And you'll see that transition right now. You are defeated. Don't be defeated. I am well known for being okay, and it makes it much smoother. And you can see the transition right down here. You can increase or decrease the time the transition makes. And as you can see, there's lots of edits where I took out dead space. I did all of this before I put the subtitles in. So I don't have to mess with the subtitles. Because when you start cutting and clipping, it can become a nightmare trying to keep the subtitles at the right point. So do all of your editing first before you add subtitles. Now, besides transitions, they have what's called effects. As you can see, I can make different video effects happen with with my background. And in this case, you'll notice it's showing the video effects with the chroma key or green screen still visible. And that is how you, by the way, in fact, I'm going to do it on this snippet right now. So applied effects, chroma key. As you see, that's what the actual recording is. And then when I hit chroma key, which is, I told chroma key to get rid of all green. And then when I did the chroma key, there's a little eyedropper comes up where you can specify the green. And I go to the darkest shade of green I can find, which means chroma key will work on any shade of green that dark or lighter. So I look for the darkest shade of green in the video. And when you activate chroma key, boom. And it's not going to be as good as a professional video because I don't have a massive green room and I don't have a massive, powerful computer. So this whole thing for a roughly 24-minute video, I will admit it took about a total amount of time to produce about 8 hours. But I am pretty anal retentive. I try to make it as perfect as I can. I'm an amateur, so it isn't going to be that perfect. And here we get to the ending, which is the other part of that template. So I just open the template up. I start producing my video. I drop that in between the two ends, and then save the video as what it is. So I still have the prepared template for the next video. And that gives you consistency in your opening and closing, by the way. So let's go to the closing real quick. I'm getting it big so you guys can see. Okay, so it has multiple elements. I still have the background music. Now you'll notice the background music has got a split. Well, that is because I had the volume way cranked down while I'm talking. You can see the volume was only 25%. On top of that, I put in some some volume points to pull down the volume. So if you go like to this one, you see I had it way decreased. And then I put in the volume points, and I'm getting to the end of my talk, my message. So I'm having the volume increase to match this volume. And then this volume picks up basically equal with this volume. And there's a little bit of this volume is actually much louder. So that's why you see this down low. And so as we transition, let's see if you can hear it. I'm just going to play it. Have a great week. So as you can see, the volume increased as we got to the end. And then over here, if you look up here on this particular, I have a fade out of 10 seconds. That's what you're seeing right here, because we're at the end. So that's the background music, and it's how I pull it in. Here's the transition out, as you can see. And then we've got all of these elements. So we have the Parson Brown text sign, which now reappears. I have the same door, except I reversed it right here. So now the door is closing instead of opening. And then I added this element right here, which is the subscribe and the notification bell at the top. And again, you can see all the green. We're using the green screen technology on all of this stuff. And so I have multiple elements, and you down here is the base element. So this will always be seen, except when this overwrites it. And by using the green screen, we make the entire background invisible. So you can now see through this to this. So, and if you look, you'll see the desk now. It's empty, but you'll see the desk and the chair and the background. And up, whoops, right here. Desk, chair, background. And that's because we're using the chroma key on all these green elements, which make them invisible, but it doesn't affect these other elements. So you get this effect where you have the background, you see the recorded video, the desk, the chair, me, and if we go over here, you see all of that, but you don't see any of the green. And then you go up here and you can see the door closing. Since this is above this and everything that's not green is not taken out, it gives the effect of a room, a door closing on a room, and you can see the room. Then up here, again, we have the green screen. I have this little subscribe and bell notification. And you can see all the elements that are not green are visible. So, and down here I have the mouse click, and the button push, and over here the bell. So all of those different elements put together a full experience. Great week. And video's over. So I had to figure all of this out on my own. The first place to start is you click or select whatever segment you're working with. Go up here to edit. And the first thing I do once I get everything done with edit is I detach, it says restore, but I select detach audio. That way the audio is separate from the video, and you can make changes directly to the audio, volume, effects, and things like that. The other tool I use is that chroma key tool. Let's show you that real quick. I got it. Edit, tools, chroma key. And as you can see, it has that the darkest green that was found in this video is what I told it to use. And then it's got that little dropper. And when you go over here and you just go to the darkest spot, click, poof, everything clears out. That's green. So you again, you have a lot of like color adjustments, crop and rotate. You can really manipulate the video. Position, you can I've used in other videos where I'll have multiple elements just appearing up here in the corner as I'm talking. Or you could even replace the background if you want. And you can use position to move yourself around. See? Literally moved me and the desk elsewhere. And now I'm going to have to undo that. Let me go undo that. So there's the element I added. And we're just going to get rid of it. Boom. You can do that. The other thing you can do in edit, we go back, edit, tools, again, color adjustments, crop and rotate, position, pan and zoom. I use mainly pan and zoom when I'm creating a short because it's a much smaller format. It's designed for cell phones. So it's not this full high def image. It's just a small section. So Movavi cost me, including the subscriptions I have, the photo editor and the effects, all of these effects. These are the most expensive thing. They're $50 a month. They're expensive. The Movavi suite is $150 for the year. That includes the editor. The photo editor is like $50 for the year. So I've got roughly $200 a year invested in this, and then $50 a month because I do use a lot of these effects, and you can kind of see where the effect is changing things. And since it's highlighted, or I'm working on this, it's showing me how it changes just this. So let me show you what happens, just so you know. So we're going to put that effect right there. And we're going to roll it back and start playing it. You're going to see the effect. Let it go. Don't waste your time fighting the unfairness. God, grant me the serenity to accept. And yeah, obviously, wouldn't use that effect, but it's there, and there's a bazillion of them. You can even, um, I got to get rid of the effect now. I'll get rid of it later. You can even create like scratches so it looks like it's actual old-fashioned film. There's all kinds of effects. Um, there we go. Spectrum. I'm going to get rid of it. Gone. But so you got effects, you got elements. You can add in, and I've used this before. You can add in things to your video. So if this is going to want to go where I would need to add a track above. Put that in, then move it, resize it, little Monty Python-esque. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. And you can decrease or increase the time the effect exists. Just a lot of things like that you can do. That's elements. And then you have packs. Just other effects you can add in. And it has, basically, it's a way to cheat, to create a packaged effects already pre-done for you. That is part of that effects subscription. So, and again, here we can really modify the track. So all of the tools that you saw. So, and as I end this video, when I edit it and produce it, I am going to get rid of this green screen here. So you will not see the green screen here. You can see how even there I can manipulate it. And this will have a completely different background than this. Y'all have a great day.